Alright, so we got the C10 explained by an Australian man. Listen, y'all been blowing up the comments for this video, so I thought I would give it to y'all, man. Hopefully y'all having a great day, morning, evening, whatever you want to call it. And let's get right to it, man. Let's go.
G'day, guys and gal.
Majorkill!
For a setting dedicated towards sci-fi
Hey, make sure y'all, subscribe to the channel, by the way. You know what I mean, the absolute world. And let's go.
and technological evolution, religion and gods play a huge part of Warhammer 40k. Unlike real life, however, the gods in 40k are actually real and do stuff, hence it makes them kinda hard to ignore. Some of these gods were good. I say were because all the good ones are dead. Most of them were bad, however. The Catan fall into the category of bad, which isn't entirely their fault, but we'll get to that in a bit. Today we'll go over who the Catan are and where they come from. We'll then go over each of the main Catan and what their powers are, before going over what they're currently up to. Let's get into it. Billions of years before the Emperor was clapping the galaxy's cheeks and Slaanesh was sucking off some Eldar souls, the Big Bang occurred. This hectic, life-giving explosion also gave us the Catan, who more or less were the first gods of the material universe. Now, when they were first born, the Catan were like big old jellyfish that wandered around aimlessly and slowly ate stars. They were not sentient or malicious and had no interest in life beyond sucking down some hot spicy star ramen, and they did this for billions of years, not noticing or not caring about the various life forms that had begun to emerge. During this time, a bunch of sad little sausages who had more cancer than Deadpool, called the Necrontyr, emerged. Now these dudes were smart, but apparently not smart enough to invent sunscreen, as their planet was racked with more UV rays than Australia. Considering we still have a hole in our ozone layer, that's a lot of UV rays. As such, they died like flies, even as they began to colonize other worlds that didn't irradiate their balls. Eventually they bumped into the Old Ones, who are a bunch of condescending space toads who refuse to share the secrets to immortality. Or even SPF 50+ sunscreen to the Necrontyr. The Necrontyr weren't super keen on this, hence they declared war on each other? Yeah, look, they might be good scientists, but clearly they aren't that smart. The civil war between the Necrontyr was devastating, hence the Silent King, the leader of the Necrontyr, declared war on the Old Ones in order to unite his people under a common enemy. While his people did unite, picking a fight with the Old Ones as a race of salty little cancer sausages would be like a paraplegic kid arcing up to Conor McGregor during one of the Irishman's many cocaine benders. Needless to say, the paraplegic kid would end up as a quadriplegic kid. The Necrontyr got smashed and lost most of their galactic empire. They then declared war on themselves again, because as we've established, these guys are dumb as shit. As they were about to drive themselves into extinction once again, a report came back. Numerous dying stars that the Necrontyr had been watching showed the presence of large beams of pure energy, the Catan. Now, the Necrontyr, still being stupid, were like, what if we get these big balls of parasitic energy and give them physical bodies and consciousness? What could go wrong? Well, a lot could go wrong, and a lot did go wrong. However, the Necrontyrs/Necrons are still divided about whether or not it overall was the right call. Anywho, large bodies made of living metal were created for the Catan to inhabit. Now, creatures of the physical plane, the Catan were now sentient. Their vast power and knowledge finally could take form and manifest itself. And yeah, well, they became massive dicks. I don't think it helped that the Necrontyr gave them really evil looking bodies to inhabit. The Catan noticed that souls were super delicious and way better than eating suns, hence they devised a plan to get some of that soul chowder. The Catan, now known as the Deceiver, was like, yo, we hate the old ones as well. We can give you weapons and shit to kill them. We could also give you immortality. And the Necrontyr were like, yeah, that sounds pretty good. Except for their old prophet, and by old I mean like 35 years old because these guys don't live for long, who said, maybe we don't fuck with star gods. And everyone was like, shut up prophet, now suck me fucking me my Catan over. Lord, hence the Catan built big old soul furnaces where a Necrontyr would go in, their body and soul would be eaten by the Catan, and their consciousness would be put in a metal body. They did achieve immortality, however they felt empty. You know, it tends to happen when you don't have a soul. The new metal Necrontyr were renamed to the Necrons, and with their Catan buddies, waged a new war against the old ones. This time, it would be the Necrons who would emerge victorious. Kind of. Nobody really won. Large parts of the warp turned into the realms of chaos from all the negative emotions associated with war. The old ones died out or fled the galaxy, and the Eldar were getting raped by new warp parasites. The Catan were the lords of the galaxy and were very arrogant. So arrogant that the Eldar trickster god was able to trick them into consuming each other, heavily reducing the amount of Catan there were. The few
Was I muted this entire time? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Yo, my sausage fingers. Was I muted this entire time, y'all? Please tell me I wasn't. Please. Yo, please. Yo. Oh my God. Yo, I'm scared. Was I muted this entire... Yo, because like, I know I pause a bunch. Sometimes whenever I pause, right? My fat sausage finger would accidentally press the mute button. Yo, was I muted this entire time? Oh man, I don't know, y'all, cause I paused like 1,000 times. Y'all let me know. Well, I'll check anyway.
remaining Catan were then ambushed by the pissed off Necrons, who were angry that they had no souls. Damn, these guys are really salty. The Necrons' weaponry were capable of killing the Catan. However, upon killing the Catan called the Flayer, who was a massive arsehole even by Catan standards, the Necrons in the wider galaxy were cursed with the Flayer virus, which turned Necrons into zombie-like creatures that flay your skin and wear it.
Ew.
The lesson of the day was that due to the Catan being fundamentally a part of the physical universe, killing them would have serious consequences for the physical universe. Hence, Plan B was enacted. Smash the Catan into shards, then use those shards as batteries or as overpowered Pokemon that you need to deploy in a hitch. Before their shattering, however, the Catan worked with the Necrons to try and get rid of the warp. As the Catan were beings of the physical realms, the warp, aka the spirit realm, was considered bullshit hacks by them and needed to go. Hence they created warp pylons like the ones on Cadia, with the intention of cutting up the warp from real space. This plan never came into total fruition, however, but it ended up being a powerful weapon to use against Chaos for the Imperium in the future. The Necrons, weakened by their war against the Old Ones and the Catan, decided to go to bed for a bit, taking their new god tier batteries to bed with them. Now, we know what the Catan are and where they came from. Who are the known Catan? Well, first off, it's important to note that most Catan are heavily sharded, hence there are dozens if not more of the same Catan in the galaxy running around. Upon two shards meeting, they will merge to form a more powerful shard. We get it? Good. First up, we have Asgorod, the Nightbringer.
Hey, what the hell is it? Yo. Is that Australian talk? What's a shard? What is that? Like, bro, I don't want to be that guy, but like, I'm bemused. What's a shard? Can somebody please, like, you know, break that down to me, bro? Like we're in chemistry class. Somebody break that down, bro. Like it's a Step Up movie, bro. What's going on? What's a shard? And then he was like, oh, they got sharded. You get it? No. Yo, hey, respectfully, I don't get it. Can somebody please, explain to me? Please? Play the video? Okay.
I'm just putting it out there, all the Catan have really try-hard edgelord names. The Nightbringer is the literal manifestation of death and the Grim Reaper. It was actually this Catan who cursed the galaxy with the fear of death, other than the Orks, because they're pretty much uncursable.
Oh my
the Nightbringers
God. Bro, like, why they gotta be like, bro, oh my God, yo. It's something about the Orks, bro. It's just like, bro, like, just seeing their face, bro, just like it irks me. I don't know, like, what it is. And listen, and then before y'all even, because, like, I see the comments, before y'all even say, well, it's because the Orks, they did that thing to Vulcan. I saw, like, the little comments or whatever, bro. It's really not funny. Is that, like, hey, I'm gonna keep it real, bro. That's not funny at all, bro. Why y'all making that? That's not even, like, funny. Y'all know he got ganged up, bro. Y'all know Vulcan got ganged up on. Like, why are we laughing about that whole situation? Like, why? We don't have to do that,
Considered one of the most powerful of the Catan and is the god of death, darkness, and destruction, and all those other edgy words starting with D. The Necrons don't like this guy and avoid using him as a Pokemon at all costs. However, they have done it a number of times when shit was that desperate.
Oh. So the Necrons are so booty juice that they gotta use Hey, the Necrons are so like, they're so filled up with hot dog water that they gotta use a weapon that they don't want to use because he's that much of a school threat. But at the same time, they still use him because he's effective. Wowzers. Hey, Vulcan can never, and I can never either, bro. I wouldn't even let my greatest enemy help me out, bro. I'd rather go out bad.
While the other Catan were tactical and subtle, when they were given bodies by the Necrons, the Nightbringer was not. He started killing the Necrontyr for fun and was a pretty shitty god overall. It took a lot of persuasion from the other Catan to try and get him to stop killing all the Necrontyr so they could instead fight the old ones. Cain and the Nightbringer dueled each other during the War in Heaven. However, despite his strength, this is Kayla Mencha Cain we're talking about here, god of war. Hence the Nightbringer was destroyed.
Hey, pick a different name, yo. You're not Kratos. Pick a different name, yo. Hey, you may be cool, whatever, bro. We get it. But you're, pick a different name, yo. You are not Kratos, okay? Bro think he Ares. Like, bro, you're not even, no.
And his scythe banished to the Imperium.
No.
This was only a minor inconvenience, however, and the Nightbringer was given a new body. When the Catan turned...
Oh, it's coming in my eye. Oh. Oh my God. Okay, that's out. It's out. Sorry for the inconvenience, guys.
On each other, the Nightbringer scored a lot of kills on his fellow Catan before he was finally sharded by the Necrons. In recent times, some of his shards, due to how difficult they are to contain, have escaped into the galaxy and are rebuilding their strength. Overall, the Nightbringer can go fuck himself. Next up is Mephetren, the Deceiver, the Catan who tricked the Necrontyr into giving up their souls and bodies. The Deceiver is a lot more subtle than the other Catan. He was the one who orchestrated the War in Heaven after all. He is the god of lies, manipulation, and deception. 3 traits you don't want to find in your girlfriend. The Deceiver relies on its tricks for power, as it was physically weaker than most of its Catan brothers. It's the kind of guy to make really over-the-top elaborate plots which are super unnecessary and overly complicated, and eventually they backfired. Pretty soon everyone realized that this guy was a dick and named him the Deceiver, kind of ruining his reputation. He survived the Catan eating each other by hiding like a little bitch, but when the Necrons turned on the Catan, not even the Deceiver saw it coming, and he got raped pretty hard.
Oh my, yo, oh my goodness. Y'all hope this video is greenlit. That's number 1. Number 2, it says shard mean. All right, y'all, I'm back. There's a star mine waiting in the sky.
Most of his shards are now bound to the Necrons, however a couple of them are out there doing deceptive cringy shit. Next up is Maglaroth, the voice.
Wait, before we get to Makarov, yo, so I searched up shard, right? So it says a piece of crystal methamphetamine. Now, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I do know what methamphetamine is. Wow. Okay. Okay. Wowzers.
Void Dragon, the most powerful of all the Catan, this naughty boy is the god of oblivion, destruction, and devastation. I mean, I guess the Nightbringer was also the god of destruction, but pretty much all the Catan break shit so they can share the title. The Void Dragon was also a master craftsman, creating nearly invincible warriors, as well as the Necron pylons that fucked with the warp. During the War in Heaven, the Eldar god Vol created the Blackstone fortresses and used them all simultaneously to hit the Void Dragon with a fat Kamehameha. This attack wounded the Void Dragon and broke off a couple of its shards, which the Necrons imprisoned. The wounded Void Dragon retreated to our solar system and hung out there for a while until the God Emperor of Mankind came in and kicked his ass.
Oh, wow.
He then locked him up underneath Mars. This is why Mars became such a technological powerhouse. The power of the Void Dragon's creation seeped into the Martians. Now, a lot of people think that the Void Dragon was never sharded. He was, just not that much. The Void Dragon under Mars is the original Void Dragon and has lost a number of shards in his fight with Vol. Those shards are incredibly powerful, with one of them almost wiping out an entire Necron dynasty during a rampage. If the Void Dragon underneath Mars is ever freed, then the galaxy is in for a shit one. Next up is Nadarara Zaratha, the burning one. Okay, now we're just...
What? Nether what? Yo, you wanna... First of all, he looks disgusting. First of all, yo. Second of all, yo, tell Nadarata the Badara to keep his tongue in his mouth. Right now, bro.
Taking the piss for these names. The burning one was essential to beating the old ones during the War of Heaven, as he figured out how to make the webway accessible for the Necrons and the Catan, hence nullifying a massive advantage the old ones had over them. If you've ever heard of the Dolmen Gates, the Necron gates into the webway, this is the guy who made them. However, making gates to the webway isn't exactly a huge power play when it comes to getting betrayed by Necrons, hence he was sharded and turned into a battery without too much drama.
What that mean? Yo, that sounds like gangster talk. Turn bro into a battery.
Relatively speaking. The last important Catan is the Outsider. He, along with the Nightbringer, were the main ones when it came to eating their fellow Catan and ruining all.
Let me go deep. Yo, his throat looks massive. Hey, listen, don't... Hey, don't ever, yo, don't. Don't you know the sky is the limit? Yo, listen, don't listen to me, yo. But I'm gonna keep it real. He looks absolutely down bad.
Their progress. Unlike the Nightbringer, however, the Outsider was driven insane from eating his bros, as it violated many of his fundamental bro code rules. Because of this, he fled to the darkest corners of the galaxy in shame, and returned to eating stars instead of souls. However, as a result of this, he never actually was sharded by the Necrons, making him one of, if not the greatest threat to the galaxy right now. He's entered into this sort of hibernation and self-imprisonment as he's built a Dyson sphere around him. If he were to get his shit together and come back to the galaxy revenge, everyone would be pretty fucked. Those are like the main Catan that we know of. However, there are a number of ones such as Zahurush the Potenet that got turned into a Necron battery to power the Pharos device. He was tricked by everyone's favourite mechanical hentai monster Belsarius Call into helping the Archmagos. Once Call's deception became obvious, the Catan swore vengeance on him. Might be hard for him to achieve that vengeance, as part of Call's deception was delivering the Catan straight to pissed off Necrons that wanted their battery back. Another Catan is Nephoron, the Spiral Flame, who we don't know.
He looks comp. Yo, yo, hold up. Let me not make no jokes. Yo, I don't want to make no jokes towards him, bro. Hey, bro, listen. Yo, he looks compy, bro. He looks super cool for no reason.
Much about other than the fact that the Necrons have shards of him, and they use one to rape the tits out of an army of tyranny.
Yo, what's with him and... Yo, would you stop? Oh my goodness.
There is also Yugoranatha, whatever the fuck that name is, the World Shaper, who was a Catan that, you guessed it, loved shaping worlds. He was sharded along with most of his kin. One of these shards powered the world engine and actively helped the Astral Knights destroy the Necron superweapon before he himself escaped to the galaxy. Another shard of this particular Catan was destroyed when I, Kato Sicarius, threw a vortex grenade at it, an achievement worthy of promotion, I would say. It seems that Catan shards can be destroyed without consequence. The reason why the Necrons don't do it is because they make cool batteries. The Silent King uses a Catan shard.
I know who this is. Hey, yeah, he's the goat of all goats of the Necrons, of the Metal Boys.
To power his floating chair thing. On top of that, they are also really powerful trump cards to pull out in times of need. Sure, they are volatile.
These are my actual like tabletop. I'm gonna keep it real, bro. I've never played like Warhammer tabletop before ever in my life, ever. I didn't even know that Warhammer came from a tabletop series until like I personally like 3 months ago. I thought that like all of Warhammer lore was to like Space Marine 2, was to like Space Marine and all the other video games. I'm not thinking, oh snap, like these are actual, like all these things are characters to an actual tabletop game, not just to a video game thing. Like it's all connected. Like it's not like this ain't like all these characters aren't to a video game. I mean, well, some can be featured in the video game, but they're not, like, they didn't originate from a video game. They originated from another game. They originated from a tabletop game. I'm like, yo, what? And then I have to read up about that. So.
And can often cause a lot of problems for the Necrons, but these incidents are few and far between, and the Necrons have a surprisingly good grip on the Star Gods. In saying that though, there are numerous Catan shards out there who have escaped their Pokeballs and are slowly freeing their other shards and growing more powerful. Some shards have even reached the Transcendent status, which means they have merged with dozens or more shards to create a Demi-Catan. The Necrons can still store and imprison these Transcendent shards, but it's a lot harder. They need to use a Master Ball instead of your average Pokeball to store those bad boys. With the Void Dragon beneath Mars and the Outsider on the edge of the galaxy, the Catan are just one bad day away from throwing a massive spanner in the mix. With the galaxy seemingly on the edge of complete implosion, the arrival of the Nids, the awakening of the Necrons, the arrival of the Inari and the fall of Cadia, maybe it's time we throw in a few pissed off Star Gods as well. And that does us for today, guys. The lore and story.
Shout out to the boy Majorkill, man, for this video. There you have it, okay? A lot of y'all was blowing up the line for this video. Thankfully, we got around to it. And other than that, man, comment down below. Spam up, more videos down below that you guys want me to cover. I know, y'all was wishing for this one. They always like, hey, yo, he's capping. He's never going to react to it. I'm like, yo, I'm going to. There's just so many videos that I got to catch up on and all this and all that. But do not worry. I got you guys, man. Other than that, man, I'm going to see y'all later. Thanks for out. And bye, everyone. Make sure you guys follow my Twitch down below. And also, make sure you subscribe. If you are new right now and you're not subscribed, bro, subscribe to the channel right now. Bro, as a matter of fact, every time I say subscribe or whatever, the little subscription button lights up. It's like a cool little YouTube feature that YouTube added. It's pretty cool, right? You should click it. Click it right now.